Don't worry, this is not one of those usual day-in-the-life videos that is glamorizing data analytics jobs. This is a very down-to-earth video where I will show you exactly the breakdown of a typical day that me and thousands of other data analytics professionals experience at work. I will explain each of our tasks in the easiest way possible, so that by the end of this video you clearly have an idea of what we actually do all day on our laptops and what goes in our mind each hour of the day. And yes, I will skip all the unnecessary details like food, sport, hobbies, and other stuff that are not related to the actual data analytics role. So without further ado, let's get started. So first thing first, as you can imagine, switching on the laptop and go straight to the email app. This is Microsoft Outlook in most cases, but I also seen other apps like Gmail or Mailboard use at work. And this is to check if there is anything interesting to look at. Now from this first step, our day can already take different forms, and let me explain. The emails that I generally see in the morning are basically of three types. The first one is organizational announcements. So organizational announcements emails are very common, especially if you work for big organizations. And these are all emails that are relevant to the business as a whole. It could be communication on a new leader or director that joined the company, or new initiatives of the business, or even new product launches. This is just a broad idea, and in most cases these are emails that are not directly relevant to your work, and so we tend to either read them super quickly or even ignore them completely. Second type of emails are stakeholder communications, and so these are all emails that are related to your stakeholders, and so basically the people you work with on a weekly or even daily basis. These may be questions on one of your dashboard or reports, follow-ups or next steps on things that you are working on, or replies to questions that you ask them because maybe you need some inputs to proceed with your work. Then the third type of emails is automatic emails, and these are emails that are coming from workflows or automations that were set up by yourself or other people in the team. And again, to give you a very practical understanding, you may have a dashboard or reports that is updated every morning so that it shows the latest data. And so when the refresh of the reports is completed, you will get an automatic email saying if the refresh was successful or if there was any issue with it. And this is typical, for example, if you have a Tableau dashboard that is updated daily on the Tableau server. Now, the result of all of these emails that you receive in the morning is either a positive outcome, meaning that everything went smoothly during the night and previous day, and so there is nothing new to work on. But obviously there are cases where something didn't go as expected, and so you already have an idea of things that you will need to fix or work on the same day. And again, with the previous example that I explained, in case there is an automatic refresh that failed, that means that you will likely need to take the task of understanding what went wrong and make sure that you find a fix so that people can use the reports or dashboard that you own. And the next step is likely to be catch up with your team, and this is usually called daily stand-up. However, this is only applicable when you work with a big team, so that you can update and get updates on tasks that maybe can be of interest for multiple people in the team. Here I would like to make a little comment, because this really depends on the type of role that you have. Because indeed you could be an individual contributor, and so a data analytics professional that works pretty much autonomously, and so you manage your stakeholders directly and you have your own initiatives that don't rely on many other people in the team. And if this is the case, you will likely have only catch-ups with your manager and not really daily stand-ups with your team, unless your stakeholders want to have them. On the other hand, you could be part of a bigger team of analysts, engineers, and scientists. And so if that is the case, daily stand-ups are pretty common, because it means that you are all working on a bigger project, and so you are likely to need information of what everyone is doing as part of the project to better understand the tasks that were assigned to you. And if this is the case, it is also very common to use one of those program management tools like Jira, where there are tasks and tickets assigned to each of the person in the team, and that can be tracked by the manager to see the status of each of those tasks, which obviously becomes also your responsibility to keep up to date, so that everyone knows what you're working on, what task you completed, and what are the next tasks that are in your pipeline. After this couple of steps of emails and team sync, I generally start with the actual work. Now, the good thing for a data analytics professional is that each day is kind of different. But again, if I want to make it very practical for you to understand what we actually work on daily, I can divide the work tasks into routine tasks. And so I know that I said that our days look different from each other, but it's also true that there are some tasks that are kind of repetitive, and so you will need to do them pretty much daily. And so these are things like working on an analysis that you will need to send to the senior stakeholders every week. And so it is just a matter of repeating the same process that you already did the previous week. And because these are maintenance and repetitive tasks, the ideal situation is that you had a way to automate these tasks. And from a data analytics perspective, this might involve creating a Python script that you run on a weekly basis that creates the output that you want. And so if this is the case, these tasks involve only running the automated script, generating an analysis that you can, for example, incorporate in a PDF or PowerPoint that you can then send to senior stakeholders. Then we have new developments. So the other type of task is generating what I call new developments. And these are the types of analysis that you are currently working on and are still not ready to be consumed by your stakeholders. And so these might be things like a new dashboard that your stakeholders might ask you to create. And so all you need to do is maybe continuing with the collection of the data, because maybe you're still figuring out where the data is, or it could be progressing with your analysis because maybe you still have to clean the data and understand what is worth it to show in the dashboard, or maybe you are towards the end of the development of the report, and so you just need to continue with the design of the different charts and functionalities like filters and tooltips, and working on the aesthetics like colors and general formatting. Then the third type of task is ad hoc requests, and these are usually urgent messages that you receive from your stakeholders who may need something quick and dirty, maybe on the same day. And these are definitely the most stressful types of tasks, which means that you have to stop everything else that you're doing and maybe just writing a custom SQL script to get data from the database that your stakeholders don't have access to, and use that to answer any immediate business question that they might have. And this could be things like why last week we have seen a dramatic drop of sales for one of our main products. Now that we understood the main tasks that take most of the day, bear in mind that the thing that probably for most people is kind of annoying is that you will likely not have, let's say, 5 hours of uninterrupted work to focus on those 3 types of tasks that we discussed. But you will very often have a lot of interruptions, and these are mainly caused by the meetings that you have in your calendar. Again, because I want to be quite nerdy about this, I categorize the meetings into regular catch-ups, and so these are the types of meetings that are scheduled in your calendar on a weekly basis. And so that means that you could have a weekly catch-up with your manager to talk about your work more in general, the things that you accomplished the previous week, what you're working on the current week, any types of challenges that you're facing, or maybe anything else that you want to discuss with your manager, like career progression or just getting any feedbacks that might be useful for your work. And obviously, apart from your manager, you could have set up regular catch-ups with other people that are particularly close with your work. It could be even a team member you get along with, or even a director you want to stay in touch with. Second type of meetings could be what I call stakeholders management calls, which are related to the project you are working on. And these might be ad hoc meetings that you schedule yourself to get business requirements or inputs from your stakeholders, or calls that are needed to give updates or set expectations or just discuss problems that you are facing. Then you have what I call tier 1 meetings, and these are actually very important calls. For example, a presentation that you have to deliver to senior stakeholders, or even a presentation that you have to do to the internal team to explain things that you accomplished and want to share. In general, these are the types of meetings that are either high effort for you to prepare for, or are the meetings with very senior people on it. And then I group all of the rest of the meetings within the other category, because there are so many other things that can be scheduled in your calendar, like training, webinars you need to attend, or introduction calls with new people in the company or new hires in your team. And here there are other calls where you are probably not needed, but still have to attend while you multitask on other things you need to complete on the day. And here you have it. We have talked about the emails that you usually receive, the daily tasks that you are generally doing, and the meetings you often take part of as a data analytics professional. I hope this shows you an authentic day in the life within data analytics and can help you to see what is the reality of our job. If you have any questions, make sure to leave a comment below, because I personally answer to all messages I see. And make sure to like this video and subscribe to my channel. It helps more than you know. Also, if you are interested to see a real data analytics project, make sure to check these other videos here, and well, enjoy the rest of your day. Ciao for now, and see you in the next one.